Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to JP Broadcasting, and welcome in to the Rapid Theft Racing 200 for this round of the NicholsOilPros.com series. For round 9 at Pocono Speedway this evening for Triple Bypass. Once again, I'm your commentator, Hamish Mano, joined by Jim Cunningham here this evening. Not too far south this evening, Jim, of the home of the office, Scranton, Pennsylvania, out here at Pocono Raceway. It is an incredible circuit. It's a tri-oval, of course, as well, and it's similar in terms of it has similar factors of our first Triple Bypass show that we called together, Worldwide Tech Center, where every corner around this track has a different apex, has a different curvature, and will take a different approach all throughout the race. Could we be on for a lot of cautions, Jim? We'll have to wait and see.
Well, by the way, good to be here with you. I don't know. From one hand, these turns are tough. Every turn is different, and some of them can wreak havoc. Like I guess it's coming out of the third turn down to the main straightaway. That can be a brutal turn. But then again, the track is so large that more than likely, if we get some green flag laps, these cars are going to spread out, so they won't be right on top of each other. Doesn't mean we won't have single car incidents, but so it's tough to say. But if I had to guess, I would say there's probably going to be a couple. There's been a few wrecks in practice, so go ahead. Sorry.
Last week we had an inundated amount of safety cars or pace cars getting called out. Speaking of Worldwide Tech Center, that was the last time prior to last week that we went into the double digits of cautions. So hopefully tonight we get some good green flag running. That's what we're hoping for, Jim. Let's have a quick look at the championship points, because we know that Steve McClendon has been running the Smart Series this season. He got his spot in the playoffs early on and now has been going for stage wins to get solid points next to his name. He sits on 193 points coming into this round, 16 points ahead of Brad Kress on 177. Sean Bradley, Matthew Harmon, Tyler Merritt, Jared Jackson, Ben Harcum, Will Emmett, Jeff Slaughter, Kyle Dewey, your top 10 in the championship as well at this point. This looks the same as last week's, Jim. Have we actually got a... No, we don't. This is after 7 races. We need after 8 races.
My bad.
We've got an updated one.
Well, I'm supposed to. Give me a second. Let me see if I can make that happen for us here. Let's
okay.
You can go over their schedule real quick. That was my mistake. Apparently I loaded the wrong graphic. So here, talk about their schedule, and I'll see if I can do that real quick.
Well, of course, they've got an incredible schedule. 5 nights racing per week for the Triple Bypass Racing League. It is broadcasted right here on JP Broadcasting. Of course, tonight, Sunday night, we're in for the next gens for the NicholsOilPros.com series. Tuesdays, it's the late models. Wednesdays, we've got some dirt action for you. Thursday, the Xfinity cars, which is a lot of drivers' preference when it comes to oval racing at the top level compared to the next-gen car. But each party has got their own preference, whether it's Xfinity or Next Gen. Some people even like both. And then Friday, a piece of my homeland, Gen 3 supercars as well. 14 race seasons, championship trophies as well on offer. Sessions opening at 8:15 Eastern, qualifying 9 Eastern as well. And you're guaranteed some heartbreaking racing, which we've seen already throughout this series of the NicholsOilPros.com series, Jim, as well. And as we come into tonight, there we go. That's better. Steve McClendon, 233 points at this stage. He put himself up to 47 stage points last week and has been absolutely dominating proceedings. He's extended that lead to 22 points over Brad Kress. Sean Bradley, who's been on the charge this last part of the season, is now up to 203 points past Matt Harmon on 200. Bradley and McClendon both have got playoff positions, meaning that they are race winners this season. Jared Jackson inside the top 5, Will Emmett, Ben Harcum, Jeff Slaughter, Mark Herzig has locked himself into a playoff position as well as Tyler Merritt back into the top 10. The old gamepad racer himself now finds himself inside of the top 10, only 1 point behind Herzig, so it's close towards the back end of the top 10, Jim, and it's close towards the front end as well. It could go anyone's way tonight, depending on how the Rapid Theft Racing 200 goes for them. But we spoke about last week a little bit, Jim. Let's have a look back at what happened at last week's race.
All right, yeah, let's do that.
On March 2nd, 2025, the Triple Bypass Nichols Oil Pros Series rolled into Iowa Speedway for a 150-lap showdown. The short track delivered plenty of action with 6 different leaders, 6 lead changes, and an astounding 13 cautions slowing the field for a third of the race. With so much chaos, patience, and execution were key to staying up front in the 39-car field. The Cornigan 150 was covered live by our friends at JPBroadcasting and was sponsored by Triple Bypass co-founder Brian Cooper. Mark Herzog in car 57 pulled off an incredible drive from deep in the field, charging up from 21st on the grid to take the checkered flag. Herzog steadily worked his way through the pack, taking control late in the race and leading 23 laps on his way to victory. His fastest lap of 24.8 seconds came on lap 85, showcasing the speed he had in the second half of the race. Holding off relentless pressure in the closing laps, he sealed the win in a wild finish. Keaton Crothers in car 809 nearly stole the victory, finishing just 0.2 seconds behind Herzog after an impressive run from 8th. His fastest lap of 24.8 seconds on lap 127 showed he had the pace, but he just ran out of time to complete the charge. Brad Kress completed the podium, crossing the line 0.9 seconds behind Herzog. Starting second, he stayed near the front throughout the race and recorded his fastest lap at 24.8 seconds on lap 8. Despite not leading any laps, his consistent speed kept him in the fight for a strong finish. Jared Jackson had a solid night, finishing 4th, just over a second off the win. Meanwhile, Steve McClendon rounded out the top 5. He led 22 laps early on, but couldn't hold on to the top spots in the final stretch. With 13 cautions constantly shaking up the order, it was all about survival and execution. The drivers had to stay sharp as restarts proved critical in gaining ground. When the dust settled, Herzog emerged victorious in a race that set records for incidents and number of drivers on the grid in this TBP Season 7 event. We hope you enjoyed this thrilling Triple Bypass Nichols Oil Pros Series recap. We'll see you next time.
So Herzog needs to race the next few weeks to lock himself in.
We're back live.
Great to be back after hearing the race recap out of Iowa last week. Of course, it was carnage-filled, Jim. There was even conversations of cutting down the length of the race due to how many cautions we were getting, but we had a great race nonetheless. And it was incredibly tenacious for a lot of drivers, Jim. It was very, very difficult for a lot of drivers, but namely, we were almost having heart attacks in the booth. I mean, it was absolutely wild, some of the racing we were getting and how close it was getting towards the end of that race, as well as we're into qualifying for Pocono here tonight. We have got a little bit of info from the series based on who is currently locked in to playoff positions. We have 3 drivers who are locked into the playoffs at the moment based on the fact that they've done enough races run, and they've also taken race wins as well. Those being Steve McClendon, who we well know about, Jim. He's been running the smart race all season. He'd likely be the favourite for the championship at the moment. Sean Bradley, Ryan Hyatt as well are the other 2 drivers. Now, we know that Herzog has a race win, but he's got to get up to races ran to be able to get himself into position to actually be able to race forward into the playoffs as well. So, looking at this race tonight, I mean, we can't really predict it, can we, Jim? Because we've never really been able to predict who's going to win. It's always been a little bit chaotic. It's always been a little bit carnage-filled. But we often see the same players towards the front end of town. You think of your McClendons, your Bradleys, your Herzog. Kress has been really making his way forward. And then that little note of Matt Pirosini, who has been racing a lot more often this last half of the season. And he's become so close to a win. But we haven't quite seen him at the top end of town for quite a few weeks now. Last week was very unlucky for him, Jim. How do you think he can go tonight at Pocono, and how do you think these drivers are going to be able to survive the oddly shaped tri-oval?
Well, I definitely think he's gonna go fast. He's pretty much fast on any type of oval circuit. A lot of his has come from bad luck, just situations where strategy didn't work out for him, or he got caught in somebody else's accident, or maybe even created something of his own. But for the most part, he just seems like he's gotten taken out in other people's dramas. So I definitely think he will, and I think in the end he'll make the playoffs. Would be my guess. He's gonna either win or score some big points along the way. Yeah, it's just that by the nature of how he races.
So, I mean, if we kind of look forward to tonight, Jim, I mean, it's a circuit that's going to be a bit testing based on the fact of these uh, different approaches you have to take to each corner. I'm sure you've done plenty of laps around Pocono. What's the process of approaching each different corner, and how do you think these drivers can best approach each of the three corners? Because as I mentioned, they've got different turning points, different radiuses, slightly different approaches needed to get the most out of them. Is there anything the drivers are going to have to be careful of tonight when they're racing around this place? Any bumps, anything like that may hinder them throughout the running?
Well, I think the toughest thing about Pocono to me, anyway, is coming off of turn 3 here and back onto the main straightaway. Obviously, it's hugely important because it's the start-finish straight and it's a long straight. But your car can really, really push coming out of turn 3 there, and it'll push right up into that wall. Uh, Turn 1 is not as difficult, and turn 2 to me is the easiest corner on the track. It's I don't actually know this to be specific. This is just from my own memory, but I believe that it's probably the flattest turn, but it's also to me the easiest turn. But turn 3 is where all the drama is created, as far as I'm concerned, in my experience here.
So I just want to have a quick look here actually at the format for tonight. I just want to see how many laps we've got, because that could actually then determine how many cautions we could get out on circuit this evening. So Pocono, so we're doing 80 laps of Pocono realistically. So not a whole lot of time for cautions to get called, Jim. 35 is the stage break this evening. So I mean, what's your thoughts? Do you think I think we could get some absolutely cracking racing tonight? I think we could get some phenomenal racing here, and I think it's more or less going to come down to, we saw last week some drivers going 3 wide very early in the race. I think it's more or less going to come down to how patient they are and how willing they are just to push forward as the race progresses, and not necessarily try and push forward at the very start of the race.
I agree with that. I think this is the kind of track that you do need to qualify well, and you do need to kind of be up front. Not that it's hard to pass. It's just it's just qualifying up front and being up front is going to be beneficial here. But pit strategy can also play a huge part here.
Yeah, I think that, and we've seen our pit strategy can play a major factor all throughout the season. Even when we've been on together and when we haven't, and prior to me coming on board as well this season, Jim. But if we look at our starting grid for tonight, Chad Bear has had a phenomenal qualifying. 53.1 was the lap time from the Big Ridge Boys Racing Team driver. Jared Jackson, who's in the top 5 of the championship, will then start P2. He'd love to get the win here tonight, Jim, lock himself into a playoff position. Justin Hazlitt, John Creedler in behind with Cameron Kane, Elton Wu for your top 6. Tim O'Connor and Matt Robinson for the top 8, with Matt Piracini and Sean Bradley making up our top 10. Marty Rogers and Ryan Hyatt will then start in behind them on the 6th row of the grid. Morris Bogan, Steve McClendon in behind them. Jeff Slaughter, Oliver Turin for your top 16. Brad Crest, Ty Bass for your top 18, with Matthew Aloka, Will Emmett for the top 20. Al Corey, Ben Harkham, Brian Dickens, John Campbell, Dylan Freeman for the top 25 cars on the grid. We're still going, Jim. We've got a long grid here tonight with your favorite driver in the grid, Matt Harmon, starting just ahead of Brian Cooper, with Jason Benson, Brent Thompson, and Kyle Dewey for your top 30. John Crutchley, the Nodge, will start P31 ahead of the series sponsor Tex Nichols of NicholsOilPros.com. So they'll start alongside each other on the 16th row of the grid, with Isaac Voss, Mark Hertzig, Grant Parker, Michael Seymour, Ward Fisher, Sid Keshishian, I hope I said that right, Benito Chavez, and John Barton for our 40-car grid at Pocono, and that there is the factor, Jim. That's now the factor of Pocono. It's the fact that there are 40 cars on the grid tonight. We could
Yeah.
be in for chaos, but we could also be in for one hell of a race tonight. And I think it's going to be something special.
I agree. And 40 cars at Pocono is not near what it was at Iowa, which I believe it was 39 there. But yeah, 40 cars at Pocono is a different animal, a completely different animal than 40 cars at Iowa. So I think, I don't think that's going to be near the factor here that it was there. But I'll tell you what, we've talked about, some of the different guys. Jared Jackson, has come up over the past couple of weeks. We've talked about the fact that he, that he kind of, I don't know, I don't want to say snuck up in. That's the wrong terminology. But he, he just kind of quietly moved into the top 5 in points, and and now he's up here qualifying up front on these races, and he's just really getting to. I don't want to say he's really making his presence felt here mid to late season in this. Well, I guess mid to late season, I would say. So that's kind of cool. Matt Parasini, who I basically said he would be fast here and run well, didn't have the best qualifying effort. So that was kind of funny when that
Still
popped
better
up.
qualifying though than some races previous, Jim. Still inside the top 10, so still a good spot for him to be.
Yes.
For this race starts. I think that's going to play out well for him as well. A couple of unknown names towards the front of the field for me here. I mean, Hazlitt, haven't seen too much of him, but Jared Jackson, how can he do off the front of the grid tonight?
Like I said, he's been a presence this last half of the season. He's crept his way up into the top 5 in points.
I've also just seen Jim. He hasn't actually exited the pit road early enough. He's at the back of the field. So what has happened is we get green flag off the rolling start, and Jared Jackson, who was late to the party in the 51, is all the way at the back of the field tonight. But we move to the front for Creedler and Hazlitt on the front row. Kane's up there too as we run around turn 1 at Pocono. They're going to keep themselves nice and aligned in stern. This is the kind of oval racing we like to see, Jim. Look at all those lanes of drivers running through up towards turn 2, where it's going to be a slipstream battle the whole way you have to feel, Jim. And I think it's going to come down to when you pick your moment to make your move, when you pick your moment to progress forward, because that is the little balancing act that drivers are going to have to take all throughout the 80 laps of racing here at Pocono tonight.
Yeah, I agree. And I do love this circuit, how big it is, and it's wide. And to me, it's that, like you said, that when you get that shot, everybody coming down the straightaway, just a sea of cars pouring down the straightaway, I mean, that's, it's just kind of what NASCAR racing is about, I think. Great, that's a great sight.
It is. It's and to see such a bolstered grid of drivers out there as well is what we love to see, Jim, especially in this sort of racing. As further back, Pirasini and Bradley are still challenging for position. They're in a line astern for your top 10 at this stage. So drivers settling into their rhythm, settling into the slipstream, and settling in for the next sort of 70-odd laps in this race.
So
we've got stage break coming, Jim.
Yes.
And Sean and we can see Steve McClendon is outside the top 10. Do we think maybe fuel save strategy and try not to come into pit road to get himself up the front?
Well, that's an interesting thing because they're almost going to have to pit twice because the fuel window for these cars is about 19 laps. And so at 35 laps, somebody is going to pit twice and then stay out, at the stage break and try to get that track position. But it looks like our timing and scoring has finally corrected itself. we were having.
Oh, Jackson is up the front. Okay.
Yeah,
All right,
and
so that was a worry.
Chad Bear as well. Chad Bear was also shown in the back. I
Okay.
don't know what happened there, but there was a little timing and
Just a
scoring
glitch.
issue.
A glitch in the system, Jim. It happens from time
Yeah,
to time.
but we're squared away now, so that's actually why I pulled the timing tower down earlier, trying to figure out what was going on. But yeah, so Chad Bear's got himself out here to a nice, comfortable lead, and we've seen him perform at different size circuits. He obviously was having a heck of a night at Road America in the road course race. He he ended up getting caught in some other drama, but Chad Bear's fast, and he is.
He's proved it already. He's run 1/10 of a lap faster than the cars in behind last time. By first caution of the race, though, Jim has come out swinging here, so drivers will be moving to get into position. And I have a feeling it may be involving John Campbell, Michael Seymour, and Steve McClendon further back in the field. Oh, so there's the fake 50. Oh, my God. That is an absolute... Well, it can only be said, Jim. Straight up, it's a pile-up.
Yeah.
Is what that was.
Yes, it was.
And I think that might have been Steve McClendon in the 151, was it?
Yeah,
in that,
it was.
Yeah.
That was... I think he slowed up and then got hit. Here's Tex. Let me see. Actually, it goes all the way.
Oh,
yeah.
My God.
Yeah, this is, I believe, where it started. No, I'm not even there yet.
Well, we had where it started before with the 51. So then the 1, 2, 2.
Was that the start of it, though, when McClendon...
I think it was. Yeah, I think it was when McClendon actually went into the wall.
Okay, so he drifted up, slowed up, trying to save it, catches the wall, and then gets sideswiped by some...
Yeah, and then it caused a heap of moments for a lot of drivers out there, and it's unfortunate. But when we head back to live, the pace car is out on circuit here at Pocono. How often is that infield used here, Jim? Because it looks very, very thin.
To be honest with you, I don't know. If I'm not mistaken, and I may
access roads.
I think they have a little road course in there. I think, and yeah. I know that. I don't know if this place is known for like an infield party, like you can camp out there or something. I don't believe so, but I'm not sure. I would love to go to Pocono once. It's different, and I think that's cool. I like different sort of tracks. I hate cookie cutter.
Do you think they serve cheesesteaks as trackside snacks?
Well, I mean, it's not near Philadelphia. It's in the mountains, but
that's true. But it's in
they
Pennsylvania.
should, yes.
I mean, yeah, they should.
Well, I tell you what, I hope they don't serve scrapple. You don't. you don't. Do you know about scrapple? You're laughing.
I've probably heard of it before, but I don't know about it.
Okay, so
it's a funny word for food, Jim. It's like
it is. It is. Well, I'm not going to lie to you. The way it sounds is about the way it tasted for me. I think if you're from Philadelphia, it's one of those acquired tastes. It's kind of like a sausage patty, but it's didn't really taste like a sausage patty. I don't really know what it was.
Okay.
I tried it back in the I guess it was in the 90s. I caddied on the pro golf tour for a year, so I traveled all around the country, and one of the things I did was, back then food was much more regional because, it was just that time. Really, cable was still relatively new, and so I would try whatever food was famous for the particular areas. And Philadelphia, of course, I had cheesesteaks, but one of the foods that's famous there is scrapple. So let's see, we're at lap 6. I don't think anybody major is going to pit here. Too early for that.
Yeah. Actually, no. Yeah, but that's a lot of drivers further back have come in.
Yes, well, of course. Why not?
Yeah, why not? But the drivers at the front have not, indeed. But yeah, if you're towards the back, roll the dice, come in, take a free pit stop under the pace car, and
if nothing else, top off your fuel. You don't necessarily have to change tires, but.
No, that's right. And if you're not giving up too much at the back of the field, that's only going to help you later in the race, especially if we continue to get pace cars, which we hope we don't, because we obviously want some good green running, of course. But
Right.
sometimes the racing gods have their own plan for us, Jim. But if you can come in, get
Indeed.
some early fuel just to top up your car, that'll pay dividends as the field keeps getting contained closer and closer together. Because later in the race, you'll obviously make up that time again when you come in for your next pit stop down pit road. So it's going to be interesting how this plays out for some drivers. Sometimes the dice roll works, sometimes it doesn't, but we're getting set up for a restart here. Double file restart at Pocono Raceway on the next lap around when we begin at lap 8. It'll be Chad Bear leading the way once again in the 91 M&M's entry, of course, with Jared Jackson, who's alongside. And Jared has been unlucky not to take a race win just yet this season, Jim. We'll see if his night is tonight at Pocono to lock himself into that playoff position later on in the season.
Well, I tell you what, he's doing everything, points wise to put himself in a position to be in the playoffs either way. But he has been quick, so it would not really surprise me terribly to see him win a race. Since I've been around, it'd be his first win. I don't know if he won before I came around, but I don't believe he has. But he's definitely making a name for himself.
Well, he's being up there consistently week after week. There's a reason why he is in the upper echelon of the championship standings, and with the championship leader, Steve McClendon, all the way at the back of the field due to an early incident in this race. It could be Jared Jackson's night to not only claw back some crucial points, Jim, maybe even take the lead of the championship if things goes his way. Imagine that. We come out of this race, McClendon wins, he gets the stage points, and he gets the race win points. Oh, you'd have to think that would really put the pressure on McClendon when we come around to the final round of the season. But as the pace car comes in, it is green flag running once again for Chad Bear, who leads them away across the line here at Pocono as they roar past the stands and roar past the walls of Pocono Raceway here. Entering towards turn 1. Jackson will get held out on the outside line. Oh my God, see that camera shake there, Jim, that's what makes me believe that NASCAR racing is better to view IRL. It's better to be at the circuit, to get the raw and the emotion of the race itself that you cannot get sitting at home on the couch watching it on TV.
Oh, there's no doubt about that. No doubt about that. It's crazy. Like when the cars go by, you can be way up in the stands and you'll still feel the wind and the rumble from them.
As we run down the back straight, we can see that Cameron Kane has now started to give up a little bit of time here to Justin Hazlitt, who started up towards the front of the grid. But Chad Bear has broken away from Jared Jackson, 3.9 seconds. How in the hell has Chad Bear built up 4.2 seconds now over Jared? How has that even happened?
I don't know. That's insane.
I know why. We're under caution again, Jim.
Are we?
Yeah, we've got a yellow at the top.
Oh, that's why. Yeah, I turned the tower off so we could do the. I used to looking at the triple. So where did the caution come from?
Let's have a look back and try and find it here. And I'm going to find where our round sponsor is this week.
Oh yeah, it's Matthew.
Aloka.
Yeah, but I'm trying to see. I don't see why the flag came out. This is probably not going to tell me, but.
Whilst we find that, let's drag in our race sponsor this evening, Matt Aloka, who's bringing us the Rapid Theft Racing 200 this evening. Matt, thought we quickly drag you in during the break here because of the caution. And you are this week's round sponsor for the Triple Bypass NicholsOilPros.com series. Welcome in, and thank you so much for sponsoring this round.
Yeah, absolutely. Hope my volume's okay. It's a pleasure to be here. It's a pleasure to sponsor the race. I was just excited to kind of do something for the league just because I really enjoyed my time here. So I'm just happy to be in this position.
Tell us a little bit more about Rapid Theft Racing and how it's now sort of started to take over the US racing market over the past couple of months here on iRacing.
Yeah, so RTR was something that I was brought into, about a year ago by some nice Australian folks. They've adopted a couple Americans, starting with one of my good friends, Andrew Sharp, who is a elite GR86 driver. And they've just slowly been growing the ranks, just trying to get some more bodies, primarily for endurance races to kind of fill those odd hours. But it turns out they're all just really nice guys, really fun to hang out with them, and we just continue to get each other to improve. And Kyle, my unofficial teammate in this series, has joined as well, so it's just been a lot of fun getting to know all those guys.
So, how's obviously this race going for you? Of course, first 10 laps, a couple of cautions. Have you managed to avoid some of the carnage that's happened so far?
Yeah, I've been pretty cognizant of the tire temperatures in particular. It definitely feels like it takes a few laps for the tires to come online, so I'm just racing my race, really. Luckily, this track is quite a bit wider than Iowa, so I feel like I've just got a little bit more breathing room. But as far as the start of the race, I'm not where I want to be. I was putting in significantly better times in qualifying, but I just wasn't brave enough exiting turn 3 on my second hot lap. So I'm here. I'm here. I'm at, but it should be good. I'm just gonna keep my head down and keep racing my race.
Very good. That's all you got to do, mate. Well, best of luck in the rest of this race. We'll check in a little bit later to see how you are going towards the end of this one. Hopefully, we can get some good green flag running so you can try and push your way forward.
Thank you very much. Look forward to it.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Great to talk to our round sponsor there, Matt Aloka of Rapid Theft Racing there, Jim. We're 10 laps in. We've seen the pace car 2 times at this point as well. Did we actually get our regular prediction from? We didn't get our regular prediction this week from Ruleless.
No, is he?
I don't think he's racing.
No, he's not here tonight. How dare he not at least come on and give us a prediction?
Yeah. Why not? We've got a heap of chats out there already as well. Kyle the Conqueror with us, Frankie, Andrew Sharp as well, Nathan Ether with us too, Owen Tolentino, Jack as well, saying Rapid Theft Racing are grateful to be able to sponsor the RCR 200 Pocono. We wish everyone the best of luck. Alan Dawson out there with us too, Twisty Bits Racing as well, Jared Farrell, and Hot Potato too. So great to have you all out there. I know Jared Farrell. I've called one of his races before, Jim. That's where I know RTR now. I believe they've been in a series that I've called before, so I do recognise the team very muchly. But pace car's going to come in, Jim. We're going to get the green flag. Do we think Chad Bear can pull away once again and take back the lead, or is Jackson going to be able to come at him?
Well, I would say you'd be hard pressed to not believe that Chad Bear was going to assume the lead again. He's great at restarts, and his car is so fast.
So we're traversing turn 3 at Pocono to run round towards pit road, where the pace car will come back in and we'll get this race back underway, double file running. And let's keep this one moving for the Rapid Theft Racing RTR 200 this evening at the NicholsOilPros.com series. Green flag at Pocono as we run up towards the line. The 9-1 has had a ripper start once again over Jared Jackson, who's got cars tucked up right underneath his chuff as we try and get through turn 1 nice and cleanly here, with the majority of the field 2 abreast as they run around up towards turn 2 as well. But they've done well off the green flag, Jim, as they rocket through and they scramble for position. It's interesting how tight the corners are at this place, but actually how wide the straights are. You could easily get 5 cars running wide here down the straight, but there's no way you're getting 5 wide through a corner.
Don't give these guys any ideas.
I'll give them all the ideas, Jim. I'm an ideas man.
Yeah, you know what's going to happen. You're already setting that up.
Later in this race, we're going to get a 5-way drag race to the line, Jim. It's going to be absolutely epic. We may actually have that heart attack that we've spoken about.
Yeah, you know, I'm working it. We are here at the Triple Bypass League, so there's that.
There is that for sure. It's not called the Stint League; it's the Triple Bypass League. So.
That's right, the Stint League. I've been there too. I was made for this league.
Yeah, these are your people, Jim. At this point,
These are my people. I love this series. I love these I love the guys in this group, man. I tell you what, I crack up every time I pop into the chat and they're in there telling jokes, some dirty jokes. I mean, it's just these guys are fun, man. They're good guys. They race clean. They help each other. What else can you ask for?
What else can you ask for? Shout out to you, Jared, as well. Give me a shout out in the chat. Appreciate you, Jared. Been a while since I've called one of Jared's races, actually, so good to see him in the chat and wanting to see him. Matt Epting's out there as well. Watch out for, let's go Dylan Freeman. Watch out for his name. I'll be here next week. So I'm going to assume that that means either Matt is racing next week or Dylan is racing next week, but I think it means Matt. With us in the chat at this. So great to have you guys going with us as well. Hot Potatoes in there too. He's really going to make me read this out. My Pookie Dylan Freeman is doing a great job. Well, I'm so glad that Dylan can do so well for you out there. Oh my God.
I'm not sure what Pookie means in Australian, but
it means like, my Pookie bear, my partner, I suppose, or maybe some other words, possibly. Who knows?
Yes. But well,
we don't want to push the envelope too far. James has already got enough neck veins as it is. Doesn't need any more from us.
That's right. He doesn't check up on us anymore. We're on our own.
He just leaves us on our whim at this point. It really is feeling like it's starting to feel more and more like when he left me, Brad, and Biggles together on the race. I'm
gonna tell you what, that Jimmy Broadbent charity race, the three of you over the midnight shift was absolutely hilarious.
Well, we had to liven up the graveyard shift, Jim, not just for the Australian and New Zealand crowd and the Southeast Asian crowd who were watching during a better time slot, but also for those wild Americans and Europeans who stayed up all race to watch us along. So we had something with us.
So rumor has it that there was a commentator in that race who made a deal if they reached a certain monetary level that this particular commentator would get a tattoo.
Yeah, I wonder who would be dumb enough to say that.
Do you know anything about that at all? Or
my skin knows all about that, Jim.
I bet it does.
My skin knows all about that. Yeah.
What does the tattoo say?
No Punterino, Jimmer. I was proud to get it. And if we call that race again this year, I'm going to make a similar deal where if they hit 50K before I'm in the booth, I'm going to get a small amount of Punterino on my other arm. Yep. I'm happy to deface my skin as well.
Yes. Well, anything for the cause,
Anything for the cause. Oh, the chat's just giving me deep cuts now when I called a series called Simpsa 2 years ago when I first started, Jim. I've come a long way, Jared and Andrew. I've come a long way since then, now up above 350 broadcasts for myself under my belt. And I've tried watching some of those original broadcasts back, and it's not a fun time for me, Jim. It's really not.
I still struggle watching last week's broadcast back for myself.
Yeah, I only watch back my favorite races now. They're the only ones that I watch back for myself. I hardly ever watch my own races, I must say. It's really only if I need to review something if something happened or if I need to try and memorize something for the next race if it's been a couple of weeks. So that's normally.
I'm trying to I'm trying to make myself better and do that, but it's a struggle. I have a hard time listening to myself, so.
So do I. I do as well. Because, you sound different when you listen to yourself back than when you're actually talking in general, because obviously when you hear yourself talking, you're hearing it internally, but it's also externally. But then when you only hear it externally, it just sounds really, really weird. If you're not used to hearing yourself talk, it's quite a weird one. But as we ride on board with Rogers here in the pod, Martin and Rogers, just in behind Sean Bradley and the Duff Beer. Actually, a couple of beer liveries out there for us, Jim. Duff Beer versus Bud Light. What would be your preference? Would you like to be a Duff drinker or be a Bud Light drinker?
Well, I probably would be a Duff drinker.
Yeah. It feels like, the joke to hate Bud Light is out there.
I'm going to leave that one alone too.
But when Budweiser exists, why would you go for light? Doesn't really make sense.
Yeah, I'm gonna stay away from any Anheuser-Busch jokes.
You poke me as a Coors drinker, Jim. I don't know why. I feel like you enjoy a Coors, maybe even a Coors banquet every now and again.
I've been known to support a cause or two along the way.
There we go. That feels like that was stepping around the corner there, Jim.
Well, you know, I'm from Texas. We have to, you know, sometimes we have to be careful.
Oh, true. True, sometimes you do. But, I mean, it's only beer. As long as you enjoy beer, I think that's good enough.
So, notice who's back there in, well, that's actually, so just looking at some of these names that are climbing and some that are not.
Piracini is dropping. Why is Piracini dropping?
I don't know.
Is he down pit road? Yeah, he's in pit road. Okay,
Did
Piracini's
he pit?
in. Yeah, he did.
Okay.
So Piracini's come in for a stop
well.
here on lap. Actually, no, he hasn't. He's in, but now he's gone. So did he have maybe a drive-through for something?
No, that was probably a fuel stop because 19 laps was...
No, he's not being counted. Okay, so now he's in pit. So I have a feeling he either disappeared.
Oh.
Or something's happened. I'm not sure what. That's quite interesting how that can play out.
But it is pit time, so we should be seeing some...
It is pit time, so we should see them come in. They have been able to save a little bit thanks to the pace cars.
Yes.
We've had a good couple of...
Whew, they got him woed up there, but holy cow.
Send it in, Hazlitt, why don't you? Just absolutely sent it into the pit lane.
He passed multiple cars doing that.
He did.
Now, the question is, did he get him woed down enough to stop from getting a speeding penalty?
Well, that's the biggest test, isn't it, Jim?
Yeah, indeed it is.
There for a little bit. Speaking of Dylan Freeman from the chat, he's up 13 spots already inside the top 12, so he now finds himself even further up, now up inside the top 10, as Kane, Wu, and Creedler drop down thanks to being down pit road. So the timing tower is about to be jumping all over the place as drivers come in to do their pit stops here. Chad Bear still leads the way, though. He stayed out once again, so he saved maximum fuel underneath the pace cars, it seems. See how long he can go on this stint. Cameron Kane yet to come in. Same with Wu, same with Creedler as well. Bass started from pit road, so he'll need a pit stop. Cress needs a pit stop as well. Will Emmett is the highest ranked driver at the moment, who's taken a stop. That was on lap 5, though, so he probably need another 1 or 2 cautions to get himself to stage break at this stage. The highest placed driver who pitted lap 10, Jim, Ryan Hyatt. Now, the reason I mentioned Ryan Hyatt is, so he pitted on lap 10.
Oh, you got one. We got somebody.
Longer.
Ty Bass has pitted, and he's in 5th. Oh, no, I'm sorry. Creedler. Is it Creedler?
Yeah,
no, it's Bass.
No, Bass started from the lane. Because it says he pitted lap 0, so he
started from pit lane. All right.
Bear, Kane, Wu, Creedler, Bass all come in. Cress has stayed out for another lap.
That looked like a speeding penalty. I'm sorry.
Quite possibly. So the reason, just back to my point I was mentioning Ryan Hyatt, is we've already gone 4 laps longer than what we had. Than what we would have without caution.
Yes.
So the reason that I mention his name is the fact that he's already put on lap 10, so he can fill the car up, go 19 laps. That gets him to 29. If we've gone 4 laps longer, that gets him to lap 33. So if he were to get another caution, he could save enough and get to stage break and then actually be at the front of the field and get the stage win if this plays out well.
That's true. But that being said, everybody else right now should be able to pit one more time. Well, I don't know. I'm gonna have to look at this. I'm gonna let everybody get pitted, and then I'm gonna have to take my shoes off and do some counting here.
If they're getting 19 laps per stop, Jim,
right,
19 laps per stint, so that means that their critical lap would be lap 61. Would be the critical lap, and that gets you to the end of 61 gets you to the end of lap 80. Obviously, with cautions,
right,
you're well until we're going to get home. So if we go 61 and then 19 again would be
80.
52. No, 19 back would be 42. 42 back would then be 23. So those who have come in a lap 23 or past that, so Brad Kress, for example, came in a lap 24, can now get home on 2 more stops in this race. They won't need another one after that. Where those who maybe needed to come in a lap, who came in a lap earlier, will need a little bit of saving to make sure they can actually do that.
Right.
So it's going to be tougher for those who came in a lap 20 to save 3 laps worth of fuel. But all of a sudden, it opens up the doors a little bit for some drivers.
It does indeed.
And it opens up that strategy play. You get another caution here, 3rd caution of the race. So all of a sudden, Ryan Hyatt is in prime positioning, Jim, to take the stage win. Because if he can save fuel over this caution, which he should be able to, as Brian Chavez pulled it up on the outside of the circuit, so that might be why we have the caution. Although that looked like the exit of the pit lane, so I'm not sure why. No, he towed back in the Dairy Queen machine. So all of a sudden, Ryan Hyatt is now in the hot seat to take this stage win, based on the fact that he can now save under this pace car and get to stage break at lap 35, because we saw they've gone 4 laps longer. If we do the math, he came in a end of lap 10, plus 19, that's 29, plus then the 4 laps that other drivers have been able to go extra, gets him to lap 33. He should be able to save at least 2 laps here, thanks to the pace car, because of the fact of how slow they'll be going across these couple of laps under the pace car now.
Huh.
It's crazy how it plays out. As Emmett, Harmon, Herzig, and Thompson have stayed out because pit road will be closed once the caution is called, but it should be open very shortly. So we should see them file down pit road because they will need a stop to get home to the stage break.
Yes.
Ryan Hyatt, though, has the asterisk. He can make it. Will he make it? Sometimes the math does not add up. Hopefully for him, it does, because this would be a wild, wild way to get a stage win, Jim. If he could pull that off by putting on lap 10, that would be absolutely crucial to his race.
Yes. Yeah, that would be... I mean, he is in a good spot for that, because everybody around him is going to have to pit before the stage break for sure.
I have just thought of something though, Jim.
What is that?
He pitted on lap 10.
Yes.
He's only had the fuel saving effects of 1 caution, because the first caution was before lap 10.
Both of them were.
So he's come in. He's had to come in. So that's actually okay. So that was the asterisk on the math, was he actually didn't get the full effects of the fuel save because he had to come in under the 2nd caution. So Chad Bear now sits P1.
Yes.
And I think with this has now saved Chad, because he can now get home on 2 stops with the fuel save. He can get across this caution based on the fact he only needed to gain 1 lap to be on critical, which was lap 23. So for him, this house plays out well. He could possibly get a good stage win here in this race. Oh, it's going to be interesting how it plays out, Jim. It's going to be interesting how this can work out for them and how this race will progress. Can he keep this pace up all throughout the race? That's the question. Can Chad Bear keep the pace up at the front of the field and lead it from pretty much end to end and take a race win here at Pocono?
I mean, based on my experience in the time I've been around, yeah, he can. He's fast. Honestly, since you and I have been calling races, he hasn't been that dominant. He was really strong at that road course because he had like 3 incidents and still was continuing to battle to try to get up front. But last season, when I called some of the stuff at the end of the year, man, Chad was almost unbeatable in several of those races. He was so strong. And you and I haven't seen that. It's kind of like Mark Herzog last week. Since you and I have been together, we hadn't seen him close out a race like he did last week, you know. But he certainly did last year, and I would say the same thing about Chad Bear. He's certainly capable of running up front all night long.
Yeah, he could very, very well run at the front of the field. There's so much love for Dylan Freeman at the moment in the chat. There's so much man love happening in the chat for Dylan Freeman, which I can appreciate that. You know, we got to love our friends, got to give our love to our friends and support our friends whilst they're racing.
Was that Pookie, by the way? Was Freeman Pookie?
Yes, he was, apparently. Okay. He was the Pookie. So, yeah, Jaden, I'm not going to repeat that one on broadcast, Jaden. I can't. Victoria in the chat, too, giving the love to the 88 car as well.
I'm tempted to repeat it just because.
No, you can do it if you like to. I'm not willing to do that. We're not late enough yet, Jim. We're not at the 10 o'clock mark for late night TV in the US.
No, we're not. We're not.
No.
Of course, that was the old days, you know.
Yeah, although in saying that, we are late night TV in Europe at the moment.
Yeah, don't put. Now you want to get me in trouble.
It's late night somewhere, Jim.
Yeah, it's like the old it's 5 o'clock somewhere adage.
Yeah, exactly. It's late night somewhere.
This morning, I was actually racing in a race that James was calling, and one of the guys in the race is like, man, grab a beer. And I'm like, it's 8:45 in the morning. And he's like, well, you know, it's 5 o'clock somewhere.
Accurate. Absolutely accurate. Hang on, how long ago was that? How long ago was that race, Jim? Was that 12 hours ago now for you, or a bit earlier?
Yes, it was a little over 12 hours ago. It started.
Oh, well, it was midnight in Australia, Jim. You could have had a beer.
Sure. That's perfect clubbing hours. Here we go.
Exactly. As the pace car comes in, it's green flag running again, and Bear has absolutely streamed away once again at the front of the field. We've got 6 laps to the stage break here as they run up through turn 1 once again.
I love this camera angle right here.
Oh, it's so good. You can just, and in the camera shake and the cars streamlining past. I love the one on the wall, Jim. The wall camera just has something about it, doesn't it? You get this at Daytona down the back straight, and it is. It does things.
I mean, I think people forget, you know, they always know about Daytona doing 190 miles an hour. But if you look at that speedometer, these old boys are getting up to close to that right here.
Yeah, they're able to carry that pace. They more or less get it down the main straight, Jim, and get fairly close down the second straightaway too as we exit turn 3 and up towards the start-finish line for Chad Bear, who leads the way at the moment. Yeah, so they're getting up to around about a 187.
And that's before I saw 190 in there. Yeah.
Yeah, but I think that was on the entry into the corner. I think he either did he downshift? No, he didn't. So.
Well, and some of these guys will actually be downshifting in.
I wonder if they're blipping, Jim.
One of these corners they're downshifting. I believe.
At this one here, it's turn 2. They just downshifted from 5th to 4th.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah. So 4th gear for Chad Bear. So yeah, so they're running 4 through 3 and 2, but they're able to shift up for for 5th, round turn 1. So we run through the final corner of Pocono. Lap 30 of 80, coming on to lap 31, and a few laps to go before the stage break here, Jim.
Yep.
But Hazlitt wants to take this away from Chad Bear and the Dying Embers. Bear has led pretty much every single lap of this race outside of pit stops, and Hazlitt wants to have a crack at him. Wants to try and get the stage win for himself and get some solid points on the board in the championship standings. Robinson and O'Connor are there. Jackson's up there too. Of course, he's P2 in the championship, and he's got plenty of space between him and Steve McClendon on the road at the moment for this stage end, Jim. Oh, a bit of a slide, though, through turn 2 for Bear. He is pushing that M&M's entry to the absolute maximum across this Pocono Raceway. Can Hazlitt get past him, though, Jim? It's going to be tough to get past in a couple of laps.
Well, he's going to give it a whirl right here.
Inside run for Hazlitt up towards turn 1. There you can see Bear on the outside. Hazlitt's going to get him. He's carried the pace well there, Jim, and Bear's had to back out of it and just tuck him behind. But here comes Robinson. Oh, my God. That could have ended in tears.
Man, Chad Bear just earned a friend in Robinson, because let me tell you, if Robinson doesn't back out of it a little bit right there, I think we got cars in the wall.
I think we got more than cars in the wall, Jim. We may have cars flipping down the back straight. I mean, that was...
Right.
That was...
Chad Bear wasn't giving this stage win up.
No, he wants this win. But how much does Hazlitt want to take it from him? Does he risk it all to get the stage win, or does he just sit back and try and take P2?
No, I think he tries to get the stage win.
Oh, he has to, surely.
Yeah.
Inside line again at turn 1.
Oh, we got cars wrecking.
It's going to be a caution.
And he's going to have the lead.
Surely. He will have the lead. If we go caution
Hazlitt
now...
I believe Hazlitt.
He has the lead, Jim.
Oh, he just took the stage break.
Give him the stage win.
Oh, man. Holy cow.
What a way to get the stage win, by getting the caution called 2 laps before the stage break.
Goodness. I mean, that timing could not have been any better for Hazlitt right there.
Hazlitt, he needs to buy a lottery ticket, Jim, because that has just paid off.
He does indeed. Look at this.
Absolute perfection. So currently at this point, there's a crash happening in the background. Oh no, this was the lap earlier when he already got the move done.
Was it? No, this was it. No, this was it.
No, this was the caution. So at that point, there was a caution getting called in behind, and Hazlitt just snuck ahead. He just snuck ahead and took the lead as well.
I'm trying to let me see. Trying to find an angle that maybe shows all that happening all at one time. No, it's not the one. I don't know that we're going to have what I want here. No, we're not. Yeah, well, I tell you what, that was about as well timed a caution as anybody has ever had for themselves right there. I mean, not to say he wasn't going to hold it, but I guarantee you Chad Bear was going to give him fits.
I'm sure he would have. I'm sure.
Let's see
he
real
would
quick
have.
if do we even have? No, we don't have that. I don't have the wreck, which is funny because I mean, we obviously saw him in the background, but I see nowhere who was involved in that. I don't see anybody in pits either.
Wow.
That's so weird because they went shooting across the track.
I know. I don't understand how that can work out, but everyone else is now coming in for the end of the stage.
So nobody's going to stay out here, huh? No, it doesn't appear so. Well, let's see.
Everyone would have to come in, Jeremy. I mean, you might as well.
Yeah,
It's a free stop.
So Jason Benson showed that he was in a little before. So I don't know if he was involved in that or. That's Herzog getting out the pits. Looks like pretty good there. Yeah, he did. Took the lead coming out of the pits. Last week's winner making his presence felt here.
Wow. Isn't it interesting how that can play out? So for Hazlitt. Why has he done that?
I don't know.
It might be to not change the order under the pace car, maybe.
Oh, maybe. That's so weird. I mean, he came out of the pits ahead of those people, though. I I am very confused. Well, let's see how it plays out. I'm sure that race control and iRacing's timing and scoring will certainly sort this out. Man, I was about to give Herzog just a ton of credit there for jumping that pit stop like that. Which, did anybody not take tires there? Did anybody have a quick pit stop?
No.
No.
I'm not sure. I've only got the travel.
So
very interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm confused by that completely. So somebody just ducked back into the pits. That was Seymour. And also Herzog went back in again as well. I question now maybe if Herzog was involved and was already on pit road and came out ahead of everybody to not lose his lap.
Oh, maybe.
Yeah,
maybe got lucky, dog. I don't know.
I'm not sure. But that being said, Ty Bass, according to everything I can see, is in the lead. Yeah. So
he is indeed.
So he's pitted three times. My question is, I hope he didn't use tires on all of those stops, or he's going to have some issues down the road.
Well, I would counter that option with Jim. He only took a 9 seconds. I only had a 6-second travel last time, so he only actually traversed through the lane. He didn't necessarily stop, I don't believe. Let's have a look. Can I have a look at actual pit stop? Oh, yeah, no, pit time. Yeah, his last pit time was 6.4 seconds, so he didn't take tires.
No, so he just splashed. Yeah, okay. Well, good move by him. He's got track position now. Let's see. Of course, Chad Bear's right there. I'm going to give us a little crank it up here. Let's do a little crank it up and shake these speakers a little bit.
Once again, the roar of the engines is, I mean, it is earth-shattering at this point.
Awesome.
Absolutely earth-shattering.
I'm not going to lie to you. We do a lot of races, and man, I never get tired of that right there. I really don't.
I don't get tired of hearing the roar of the supercars, Jim. I mean, hearing the roar of the Gen 3 supercar as well. It is, there's no other word for it. It's utterly titillating. It is just raw, pure sound of big V8s. It's something, there's something primal about it, isn't there? I mean,
it really is, yeah.
You can get some phenomenal racing, but you match that with some fantastic sounding cars. Now, don't get me wrong, Formula One, a lot of people are very critical of the V6 hybrid engines. I've gotten used to them now. But there was something about the V10s and the V8s when they would just scream past. Like, you'd walk down the street of Melbourne during Grand Prix weekend and you could hear them from the other side of town. Like, it was ridiculous.
I love the sound of a big rumbling V8. I think that's very American, If there was ever a stereotype about Americans, big rumbling V8s would be one of them. Speaking of big rumbling V8s, it looks like Chad Bear's fixing to pull a move here and see. Gonna try to dive it back.
Jackson. Ooh, I couldn't quite get it there, Jim.
No, he couldn't at all.
The slipstream off of Hazlitt really played into Jackson's hands.
Yes.
That allowed him to defend the position really, really easily, so that worked out well.
I agree 100%. I really had this feeling that Chad was fixing to really make a move there, so I jumped down on him, but Like you said, I think they're all in too close a proximity with each other right now. The slipstream, the draft is pulling these guys along. It does make a huge difference in these cars with straightaways like this.
It really does, and I mean, it makes it that little bit more difficult to both make a move but also defend it as well. It's kind of it's that balancing act, isn't it, Jim? Of how do you best approach these moves? This big washout from Bear makes him fall almost at prey to Rogers in behind. So he's managed to stay in it, Jim, but it is getting intense. Halfway through this race, though, lap 40 of 80 at this point.
Yep, halfway.
And we've done well, Jim. We've had some good green flag running, some great racing thus far.
Yes. Let's see what's going on further back in the field. You see anything exciting back there? Oh, let's go back and look at Sean Bradley back here, and who's that in front of him? John Creedler?
John Creedler. Yeah, so Creedler's dropped a couple of spots off the restart. They've got Ben Harkham in behind. Cameron Kane, look at who's inside the top 10. Jim, Steve McClendon has
he's working his way back up.
After 5 pit stops in this race, he has slowly but surely crept his way forward. He's got Matt Pericini in behind. John Crutchley's up to P12 as well, Jim. He's made his way up as the nudge. Ryan Hyatt as well. Matt Aloka, the round sponsor, just in behind this battle too. Oh, Al Corey, Brian Dickens nearly getting caught out there and behind.
Well, Ryan Hyatt almost hit the wall right there. Yeah. And honestly, Ryan Hyatt in practice hit the wall coming out of either 1 or 3 several times while I was sitting here just doing, basically paperwork, for lack of a better term, getting ready for the broadcast, and I had it on. And Hyatt almost hit the wall there numerous times. That right? Oh, no, he's in it. That's
a big incident. That was Morris Bogan and Oliver Turin, I do believe.
Again, I have no notification.
Oh, no. The incident report is not playing nice for you, Jim.
It is not.
Let's keep working out. I know it's not. Let's keep working our way back there. That's the 88 car of Jeff Slaughter.
Yeah.
At this stage, he has got in behind him Tim O'Connor, Will Emmett, Matt Robinson as well. There you see this big battle pack starting to form. If we move back in behind this one, we can see Al Corey, Brent Thompson, and Dylan Freeman. Fire up Dylan Freeman fans in the chat.
Where's he at? There he is.
Well, there he is, Dylan Freeman. There you go. Now everyone in the chat is about to just have an orgasmic reaction, I'm sure.
Control yourselves. Control yourselves back there.
Please control yourself.
Look where Brad Kress is right now. You know how he always seems to pop up towards the front at the end of the race, but here we are, halfway mark. Brad Kress is back here running. Well, you know what the problem is. I already see the problem. You see what livery? He's not running the prime livery at this stage. He's running a Valvoline livery, not an AMSOIL livery. No, he's running the wrong oil. That's the problem. Yeah. He doesn't have AMSOIL. By the way, did I mention that this is the TexasOilPros.com series, and just so happens
you haven't mentioned the deal, but Tex is
we're gonna come up with that. We're gonna bring that up. Don't worry.
Tex is a little bit further down the order at this stage. Matt Harmon, your favorite driver.
Well, let's see. I love that. I love that paint scheme. Let's get a little zoom in on. Oh, look at there, Cunningham tires. Golly.
Every week, I swear, every week it comes up like
it's such a good-looking livery. I mean,
it's like it's a fresh lick of paint, Jim. Just every week you're like, oh, would you look at that Cunningham tires?
Well, it's beautiful, isn't it?
Oh, do we need to find a Munro Tires livery out there as well, Jim, just to make it fair?
I mean, I know you can dream. I understand that.
There is a company. It's spelled differently, but there is a company that is Munro who fits tires. So, just stating. But
well, I think we need to pop back up here because it looks like we're starting to get some action going.
Yeah, we are indeed. It is starting to intensify at the front of the field. Lap 45 of 80. So we are fast running towards the end of this race. We're now past the critical lap 42, Jim. where if drivers were to pit, they could get to lap 61, which would then get them home on this fuel. They pitted lap 34/35. So if we do the quick maths, that then takes them to lap 54. They still would need another stop after that point. So it'll be a small splash to get home with, if they got maybe 3 or 4 cautions, which we hope not. We've done well to go green. If they got maybe 3 or 4 in the last part of this race, that might be good enough to get them home on one more stop. But it would be incredibly tight for that to happen.
Yes, I agree. I think, well, I'm not even going to say that. I was going to talk about what some fuel-saving laps could do under caution, but I would rather see this thing go green, and we have to pit under green and take a splash under green. That's going to make the racing all that much more exciting. But I'll tell you what, man, Hazlitt is all over the back of Ty Bass here.
He is all over them like a bad smell at this stage. Get him a shower, try and wash him off as best you can in the slipstream, but he cannot. I mean, Bass just can't pull away with the slipstream effect at Pocono. He just cannot pull away from Hazlitt, and he's pretty much going to need him to start making mistakes to run away with him at this point. And I think for Hazlitt, he's happy just to sit here for quite a few laps. Now, of course, one thing we haven't mentioned yet, Jim, is the fact that Bass and Jackson are teammates, and they're both running in the top 3. Could they start to work together here to help get Jackson towards the front of the field and get him a stage and get him a race win?
Sure.
Which not only then locks him into the playoffs, but also would help him gain crucial points over Steve McClendon in this championship.
Well, he got the pass done right there.
He did indeed, up the inside. Great passing maneuver there by Hazlitt. Bass now tucks in behind ahead of his teammate, Jared Jackson. Does he let him go and let him have an assault at the back of Hazlitt's car? Thinking about championship at this point.
Well,
sometimes your teammates are willing to work with you. Other times they say, actually, no, you know what? You can earn it. I'm not going to give it to you.
Well, the thing also I think is the curiosity would be, where exactly does Hazlitt sit in points and what is his needs, because I'm not going to say Jared Jackson's, a lock to make the playoffs, but he's certainly looking good to make the playoffs where he sits in points. But yet Hazlitt, on the other hand, is could maybe benefit more from, a race victory than say Jared Jackson. Not that they're going to give each other a race win. Oh, look at Chad Baird just launched right there, right as the caution came out.
The caution has been called. Who has been involved in this one?
Well, Kyle Dewey was in it for one.
Yeah, and I think maybe John Creedler.
Oh,
no, Kyle Dewey in the Rapid Theft racing car. No.
Yes, he's not our driver sponsor, but
no,
certainly that is part of the team. Yes.
Oh no.
Yep. Wow. That was. Let me see. Let's go back and get one more look at that if we can, real quick. Maybe from this angle this time. Just bumps him and.
There's only one way to describe it. There's only one way to describe it, Jim. He got served.
Yeah, he did. He
got served. Get him a napkin. He got served.
He did indeed. So
who
was that spun him?
I'm not sure. If we go back, we can maybe see the car number on the side and get a better look at it.
I was hoping from here we could, but probably not.
Oh, is that the 88?
Oh, that's Jeff Slaughter. Yeah, that is Slaughter.
Kyle Dewey has just been absolutely murdered by Jeff Slaughter. He has slaughtered him into the wall at this point.
Oh my goodness.
It's a 1980s serial killer movie, Jim, and we're living in it.
Apparently. Yeah, let me just double check and see.
Yeah. Apparently Hazlitt is also Jared and Bass's teammate too, actually. According to Tom Hazlitt. Okay.
Well, yeah, Justin Hazlitt and Jared Jackson are listed as On Edge Racing. Ty Bass is not listed as that.
Okay, but apparently they are.
Maybe. Yeah. As far as that goes, I don't know. But Hazlitt and Jackson. So everybody's pitting here. It looks like. Let's turn this on real quick.
Go back to live and we'll check.
Yeah, we'll do that.
Slaughter's also a part of that on-edge team as well, Jim. So yeah, well, of course they're all coming in because remember what I said, if they got to 42,
Yep.
they then would need lap 42 pit stop, lap 61. So they're coming in now to obviously get that pit stop done and dusted. And then what we'll likely see is it'll be a small splash to the end, possibly on the next caution. Oh, they're taking tires.
Yeah, everybody's
taking tires, and Hazlitt has come out, and look at how deep in the field Jackson and that Chad Bear have now gone.
Well, Chad Bear looks to be like in fifth.
Their tires, yeah. So,
well, I think
what they were.
I think that. Well, let's see. That's 49.50. So 30 laps. So yeah, there's no way. So clearly, everybody's got to make one more stop.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
They could. Andrew Sharp in the chat. They couldn't handle 2 RTR cars on track at the same time. It's too much energy. Too much rapid theft energy on track at one time.
It was indeed, yeah.
Yeah. And unfortunately for Kyle Dewey, well, he had his race stolen out of his hands by Jeff Slaughter.
Yeah.
Pretty quickly, too.
Well, you know, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. No,
we have to go back to the George Michael references, Jim.
No, I was fixing to go really bad and do this right here, and I wasn't going to do it. But now you've kind of sparked me into maybe doing it. So let me go find him. Where is Slaughter at? Oh,
where is Slaughter at?
Right here. Okay.
I'll be carrying a machete.
So you see what happens when you get involved in pot. You start stealing people's races. He's got the pot leaf on his car. Okay. That was terrible.
No, that's definitely a Canadian maple leaf for a Canadian driver.
Is that what it is? Is that what it is?
We do not advertise the use of illicit substances here. Come on.
Marijuana is legal in probably almost half the United States.
It's legal in Canada, to be fair, as well, actually.
There you go. So
yeah, fair. Not illicit
nothing.
There. Only illicit here.
Right. And in Texas.
And in Texas.
Forever, apparently.
And in the UK.
Oh yeah, I guess it is, huh? Is it illegal in the UK?
I believe so, yes.
That's kind of surprising.
I believe medicinal is available. But,
that's kind of surprising to me, actually. So I'm not sure what John Creedler did here. Oh, he took a splash of gas and no tires is what he did.
Yeah.
And done popped himself right up here to the front. Now let's see if those tires can hold up.
Well, that's going to be the test. Can the tires hold up on the Spotify car, or will his race be wrapped up fairly quickly? Just too many references.
Oh, you're just...
I'm sure just like Jared Jackson, you're on edge right now for what I'm going to come up with next.
I can't. Hey, there's Dominic Zanobi in chat.
Yeah, great to have you out there with us, Dom.
Why aren't you here? Where are you at?
Oh, he knew there was going to be some ripper.
Well, he's got two. I know he wanted to stay online just to hear them. Yeah, well, you know, Zanobi sponsored a race earlier in the season, and if I'm not mistaken, he's sponsoring 2 more before the end of the year. So yeah, I think he's doing
for Dom Zanobi.
I know, right? Huh? Good guy, right?
Yeah, good guy. Green flag running though once again at Pocono. Oh, there's already been a crash in the background, and it's an immediate caution, Jim. Will this be single file restart because it happened as we went green? That's the question. We know that if there's more than 2 in the span of the restart, then we can get a single file, but wowee.
Okay. Well, as soon as I figure out how to work this mouse, it'll be amazing. Apparently I need computer instructions on how to keep my mouse on the screen. And I don't even know, is this going to show it or not? Let's see.
Dom's playing
Oh.
Hockey playoff game. Okay,
Oh,
fair enough, Doc.
okay. Okay, so that did not show it. So do we know who was involved in this?
It was a green car further back in the field. So
Are you
I
kidding
hope
me?
it was.
You could tell me.
I hope for your sake it wasn't Matt Harmon.
Oh, what?
Yeah.
The Cunningham tire car doesn't wreck. I really I really see.
You know what, Jim? Nothing against Matt Harmon, but I hope because you've said that now he does wreck.
Stop that. The man's a good guy. Last year he came into the booth and helped us commentate. What a good guy he is.
Very good guy. Are we
I
back
have
on
no.
live, Jim?
We could be. I was still searching for the wreck that never.
So go to green. If you go to the latest green flag,
Yes,
that'll show us the incident again.
it will.
But we need to find the car first. So it was a green car towards the back of the field. So it might be someone who's now a lap down. So if we go towards the back of the field and look for the restart.
Okay. Well. Oh.
There it was. Yep.
I saw it dart off to the side.
Yep. Was it Matt Harmon?
Stop.
I think it actually was. No, genuinely it was. It was Matt Harmon.
Was it really?
It was. It was Matt Harmon.
Did he?
Well,
he had that was like a
wheel
connection.
disconnection.
Yes, something like that.
Yeah. Yeah, it was Matt Harmon. He's in the chat. So what happened, Jim, to the Cunningham Tires car not wrecking?
It wasn't a wreck. That was some kind of equipment failure.
We didn't actually see him hit the wall because he disappeared out of existence. So if we didn't see it, did he actually wreck?
No, he didn't. There was some kind of internet issue that happened to the Cunningham Tire liveried car.
It is.
I love you, Matt. I wish you were still in there, buddy.
Oh yeah, Jim is he's getting eaten alive at the moment. The fact that his favorite driver, unfortunately, used to be out of this race.
It's my favorite livery. It's not. I don't have a favorite driver. I just happen.
By proxy, Jim, favorite livery means favorite driver.
Does it?
Yes.
If somebody else was running the Cunningham Tire livery, then what?
Then they'd be your favorite driver as well.
Oh, okay. So I can have multiple favorite drivers.
You can have multiple favorites, Jim. It's okay.
Matt was a huge help last year, though. Man, we brought him into the booth and he helped me with several races, but one he stayed in for like half the race and commentated with us, and I was really green. I mean, I was probably only like five.
I feel Matt should have commentated from the car as he raced.
Yeah, well, I've tempted. They talked about me doing that at one point in time, but if you've seen me commentate, it's pretty bad, and if you see me drive, it's even worse. So the two together would be disastrous.
So Matt's just explaining big check up in front of him, and Sean and we bunched it up. So that's why he actually went off. So obviously the bunch up then caused the car to kind of dart across the road into the wall.
Right. It scared his equipment into failing.
I don't even know if it was actually an equipment failure, if it was actually just him taking avoiding action and going into the wall.
It had to be an equipment failure, because I said the Cunningham car doesn't wreck. So,
hang on, do we count brain fade as equipment failure, Jim?
Well, that would be my equipment fail all the time if that's the case.
Same. I had that in the last Gen 2 strength of field race.
Right, you should have seen me in this IndyCar race I did today. Well, that wasn't my fault though, for real. I'm just cruising along at the start, and the guy just comes right over and wipes me out about 10 laps into the race. It was wonderful.
That's your fault for being there, Jim. You shouldn't have been in his way.
I shouldn't have been in fourth place. What was I thinking?
No, what were you thinking? Being in somebody's way at the front of the field.
I know. You know what? We need to crank it up here, and I'm powering the volume up for this one.
All right, we're going to watch the restart at full volume, and then we'll be back as we get to the next lap of the race as well, when the pace car goes in.
I probably should wait till the pace car does go in.
We'll wait for the pace car to go in, and then we'll crank it up for a lap, Jim. How about we do it that way? Yeah.
That sounds good.
Matt Harmon's all short between the wheel and the seat. Oh, Matt. Absolute fair play.
See, he's great, man.
Fair play to Matt. Got to have a good sense of humor.
Yeah, no, he's a good guy, man. I don't know if he wrecked out or what happened last year, but yeah, he jumped in and it was a lot of fun. Ooh, they're already kind of brake checking. Watch this camera shake. Yeah, John Creedler's tires are holding up so far.
They are indeed. Jim, I'm going to be honest with you. I made a mistake of muting myself during that period and giving the dog attention, and now I really hope it's not.
I just got another disconnect issue from OBS. I hope that that's not what I think it is.
No, we're still going. We're all good, Jim. We're still going. It lagged for a second, but we are still here. Oh, no, was that
Brad?
Matt Harmon again? No. Oh,
Huh?
Brad Crest got absolutely shunted by Mark Herzig. That was huge. Oh, my God.
Yeah. So, let's see.
So ran wide.
No, that's
moved back
Thompson.
Down on the crest. Yes, that's Thompson's fault. That's
And
not
then,
Crest's fault.
who hit him? Oh, that was
Oh, that
Herzog.
was Herzig, yeah.
Oh, no.
Like, great evasive action from the Nodge further back. That was really well done. Let's
Oh,
quickly drag him in,
man.
actually, and have a quick chat to the Nodge here about that avoiding action when we head back to live. Mr. Crutchler, we just noticed that on that little caution moment, the evasive action from you, sir. What was going through the mind when you saw that big wreck happening right in front of you?
Guess he showed you he's not going to talk to you. You see how it is?
Yeah,
that's
there you go. Sorry.
There he goes.
Hey guys, sorry about that. I was on the wrong channel.
okay.
I saw the just the white dust cloud. I just picked a spot and just went low. And that was the safest spot I can go.
That was the correct option, it seems. You managed to avoid it pretty well. How's your race going thus far with 23 laps to go?
Right now, I still have almost a minute and a half of damage, so these cautions are really helping me out. So hopefully I can get these damages and I can just start running to the front.
Oh, it's going to be the longer that we get, or the more cautions we get towards the end of this race, the better that's going to work out for you, because it means we're slowly trickling down the laps instead of quickly doing so. If you can get the car fixed, plan for the rest of the race is just try and move your way forward and get anything you can out of it.
Yes, sir. Earlier I got a top 10. I was in the top 10, so I think I can try to get back into that if I can just stay out of these wrecks.
All right, let him get it pitted here.
Yeah. So get in the pit.
Oh yeah, but yeah, I believe I got a top 10 car. I was top 10 earlier, so if I can just get out of these wrecks, these cautions, I mean, and just get up there.
You got tires left if you need them?
I've got one set left. I'm going to save that.
There you go. All right,
Very
man.
smart.
Good luck to you.
Hey, thanks a lot, guys. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Very good there to chat to John Crutchley there. Do we have John Creether out there? No, we don't.
No.
God.
We got Ty Bass by any chance? We've never even talked to him, I don't think.
No, we don't have Ty Bass. What about Chad? No Chad Bear. Do we have Hazlitt? No,
Well, let's see. Where are we at on the pace car? Are we the lights off? Yeah.
No, they're still
they're still on. All right, so we could do a quick one.
Let's have a quick chat to Al Corey. Why not? Have a
Yeah,
quick
sure.
chat to him.
He won't mind.
Mr. Corey, we wanted to have a quick chat to you before we go green flag running once again. How's the race been for you? It's been a little bit chaotic every so often. We've had some good, clean, green running as well. Just walk us through how your Pocono race has been going thus far.
Yeah, not too well. Not having a good night. Got caught up in that very first wreck and had to use my fast repair. And I've been extremely slow most of the night. And then I just got caught up in another wreck. So, yeah, it's not been a great night.
I'm gonna blame Hamish for pulling you in when you just got caught in a wreck. That's his fault, by the way. Don't hold that against me.
Oh no, it's fine. You know, some nights it's just not going to happen. Some nights.
Yeah. Well, last week, you had a fantastic run. So, but anyway, we just wanted to stop in and see how you were doing, and we were searching to see who was in chat. So, touch base with you. We'll talk to you a little later.
Okay, guys. Talk to you later.
All right.
Thank you. Of course, Al is next week's round sponsor out at Rockingham Speedway, so that actually worked out well for him. So, yeah.
Well, I'll tell you what. Here, speaking of round sponsors, let's do this real quick just to give him a little shout out in the 777 there. How you say his last name? You say it so well. I struggle with it.
Matt Aloka.
Aloka, yeah. I don't
So
know.
it almost sounds like a Hawaiian last name.
It does, actually.
Yeah.
Yes. So we got he's our race sponsor this week again. Thanks to all these guys through the year that sponsor these races and make these broadcasts possible. Like if you want to get involved in some of this stuff, man, get over here and check out Triple Bypass. They do a lot of racing during the week, every night of the week, just about. And even on the nights they don't have something scheduled, they got all kinds of pickup races and stuff like that going on. And they'll do a race before a race. They'll do a dirt race before they do the Xfinity race. So a lot of stuff going on, especially if you like oval track racing.
A lot of stuff going on and a lot of drivers getting involved, which is what we love to see as well.
Yes.
Hey, Jaden Brown's right. Freeman is now inside the top 15 of this race. He's in 15th, but we'll see if he can move his way even further forward off this restart. The pace car will come in when they traverse up towards the pit road on the next time by, it seems. So pace car's not coming in. We're setting ourselves up for a double file restart on the next lap as the lights are out on the pace car. But this has worked out well for Creedlow. If we keep getting these sorts of cautions every couple of laps, Jim, this is going to work out perfect for Creedlow.
Yes.
As why is Bass sitting side by side with the pace car?
He's probably passing a message on or something.
Probably just giving him some little dirty little whispers, I'm sure, through the window.
We didn't mention this, but since he's up there and it just stuck in my head, he's up 16 spots in this race. What a fantastic great run. What a fantastic run, yeah.
And I've also just noticed as well, Steve McClendon, where has he ended up in all this? He's back in P24, Jim.
Whoa.
Ready for this? After a 9th run down pit road. But I'll give you an even better tip. He's coming on lap 60, where he can now save a lap's worth of fuel.
Oh.
Remember that magic number of 61?
Yeah, well, that's interesting.
It's interesting.
Well, he's already gotten several caution laps here, an extra extended caution too.
All of these guys are going to need a run down pit road to get home. Amazing how that works out.
I tell you what, man, McClendon, look, I mean, he's just one of those guys, man, that he strategizes around, around getting there. Who else is in that same?
We may see Steve McClendon.
Guess who else pitted on lap 60? Brad Kress.
Yep, and so did Piracini, so did Campbell, Hyatt, Wu, Curran as well.
There's a lot of guys.
Nod also came in on lap 60 as well. So green flag, and all of a sudden the front runners are under pressure because they've got to try and build gap, which I don't even think they're going to be able to build enough gap, Jim, to actually to come in and do another stop.
No.
So they're almost going to have to do no tires if they want to get home at the front of the field. They're going to have to come in and just splash fuel.
Yeah, if it goes green, certainly. But if they've got to hope that the next caution comes out at the right spot for them.
Well, what are the other drivers we need to think about as well is those who came in on lap 58, Dewey, Thompson, Fisher, Freeman, Nichols, Harkham came in on 59, Bogan as well. Those guys, if they can get another caution, can now save a couple more laps of fuel and get to that crucial lap 61. If you recall back, the first two cautions got some drivers an extra 4 laps worth of fuel.
Golly.
Oh, that was close.
He took the front paint off Ty Bass's bumper there.
That Camaro is looking a little bit less like a Camaro after that one, Jim, for sure.
Wow.
But yeah, so we have to now think about.
Oh, look at this run! I'm sorry, look at this run.
No, it's a great run.
I mean, he closed that gap up.
Creedler.
Well, Creedler's got them older tires, you know. Remember, because he only splashed the gas to get up there. Oh, here goes Chad Bear. He's gone.
Oh, he sent him on the inside.
Man.
What a run. Oh, Creedler's getting caught out. He's lost it to Bass.
Oh,
and
yeah,
to
no, they're coming around him now. Whew. Chad Bear just let it go right there. Holy cow.
He just sent him. There is no other word for it. He just absolutely sent him on that. So we've got 17 to go. We suspect that the top 13 cars on track will need another stop in this race. Those that came in on 58 and 59, have they saved enough to get home? That's going to be a tight question for contention. But for Chad Bear, he may lead the way, but he needs another run down pit road. So it means that the win is probably out of his hands at this point, Jim, so close to the end.
Well, we're going to see. Who knows, man, at this point. You know, if the caution flags fall right, though, it will kind of negate that, and those guys will end up having to come to get tires who pitted on lap 60, you know, because if we get a caution with 15 to go or something, their tires are going to be shot. I wanted to look back real quick at this, though, and just see. Look at this move here, man. He just drove it down in there, and Bass came right. Oh, I didn't even see that.
Yeah, there was a little bit of kiss and tell
Man.
from Bass and Creedler. Creedler, by the way, is now dropped all the way down to P15 as well, John. So he has locked out massively off this restart.
Did you just call me John? I think you did.
I called you Jim, didn't I?
I know.
I don't commentate with anyone called John, so I shouldn't get that.
No,
confused.
because you had John Kriegler's name in your head when you were saying he dropped back to 15th, and you called me John. You can watch it back on replay. I promise you did. But anyway, that was funny. Yeah, no, his tires gave up on him, man. That's exactly what he didn't need right there. Was he got when, you know, as soon as Chad got around him, those other guys followed, and it just freight trained him on back from there.
They did indeed.
Again, it's so going to depend on where these cautions fall, if they fall at all. If they don't fall at all,
if they don't, these guys are going to need to.
Yes.
They're going to need to come down pit road. They're going to have to. I mean,
so where's our top guy who pitted at like 59 or 60? Ben Harkham? Somebody we hadn't talked about at all tonight.
Carl Dewey.
Oh, Dewey.
Is the top slotted driver who pitted on lap 58. So, you know, the driver who you confused with winning a title last season.
Yes, I did.
Has previously been in the top 10 of the championship. Is arguably the provisional leader of the race. The question is, Sean Bradley, who pitted on lap 53, could he make it home, Jim?
Ooh, that's a stretch, man.
That's a real stretch, but could he do it?
The only way he does it is with a lot of caution flag laps, and then if that happens, then it kind of negates that strategy anyway, because everybody's going to have fresh tires, and proper amount of fuel. So I would say no, he's not in a saving spot to win this race. No, you can't do 27 laps. No way. No.
I think for Kyle Dewey, he's the closest that can realistically get this done.
And that's still a reach. I mean, if we go, you know, the rest of this race green, that's going to be tough for Dewey to make it. And his tires are older too. He didn't get tires at lap 58. He only got a splash of gas.
Right. That's right. But the question is, how long do these front runners go before they commit to coming in? Do they go all the way to lap 50
Oh,
to
I think you go all the way
lap
for sure.
78?
Yeah, I think so. If you're up front, for sure. Yeah.
Well, actually, no, to be lap 68, they'd have to go to. So to be next lap, on 19 laps of fuel, they can get to 68. Now, with a little bit of saving, they can probably get to roughly lap 70. So, oh, it's going to be tight. It's going to be tight, and it's going to be contested. As Bear leads to Hazlitt, Bass, Jackson's back there too. Robinson, have they thrown this race away by not coming in around about lap 60, around the critical lap of this race at Pocono?
It certainly makes you question their strategy, doesn't it?
Question of strategy, question of was this the correct choice here this evening? But for Bear, he leads them down towards the line. There you see it, Hazlitt and Bass, Jackson, Robinson, O'Connor are in. So they've jumped in to take the early jump on that fuel strategy. And you see it now. It's going to pay off for Bradley and Dewey, who are now on the podium. Bradley, though, has the asterisk. Dewey, we feel, can make it home from this point, Jim. And how the tides can turn for some drivers out there, and how the tides can change your luck in oval racing at Pocono. It's incredible how that can play out.
Quickly. So, who's our guy with tires back there?
Fisher. No, Thompson. It was Thompson. Lap 58 has definitely taken tires.
Yes.
So Dewey just did the fuel.
Right.
Thompson took tires as Bear has to come in. What about Bradley, Jim? Let's look at Bradley. He's now kept it going. So when does Bradley have to commit to the pit stop?
That's a good question. I mean, he's 53, so he's got
so you'd have to say 4 more laps when he has to come in.
Yeah, I'd say he's 4 more at the most, probably.
Yeah.
There's no way he can save it though. There's just no way.
Well, for Kyle Dewey, if he wins this race, I mean, it would be, like, wouldn't you know who won the pony, Jim? In terms of the fact that the RTR driver, Matthew Aloka, has sponsored this round, and Kyle Dewey, an RTR driver, could be in the hot seat to take the win.
All right, yeah. So McClendon is back there. He only has fuel too, though. He didn't get tires on 60. Nobody.
He probably didn't need them.
No.
Oh, Thompson, Arm, and Dickens are all in the pit road as well. So they've all now slotted in. So Bradley leads to Kyle Dewey as they run around. Do you know the story of who won the pony, Jim, actually? Just so you know the reference.
I don't know. I do not.
So there was an old it wasn't like a fair, but it was like a town,
like a festival or something, or
like a town festival back in the day. I believe it was out in Georgia, and it was organized by an old wrestling promoter back when wrestling was at the fairs and stuff like that.
Right.
So a real long time ago. And the organizer, they were doing a raffle for a pig. For a pony. Sorry, not for a pig. Well, that would not make sense. But yeah, for a pony. They're doing a raffle for a pony. Come down, but get a ticket, get yourself a pony. And so then they do the draw. And the organizer does the draw. And he says, well, wouldn't you know who won the pony? My son Blue won the pony. And all the people in the crowd are booing him, saying that it's rigged and all this other stuff. So that's where the term from, you know who won the pony comes from. And it's the fact of who's organized the race or who's sponsored the race. And if Dewey wins, it's like, well, wouldn't you know it? It's a Rapid Theft Racing driver who's taken the win at the Rapid Theft Racing round. So, yeah.
That was a good reference, actually. So we are, let's see, we're approaching 8 to go here shortly. So I say Dewey, we'll see.
Next lap,
two laps maybe if he was drafting earlier and really saving. So, yeah, Marty Rogers just went in. But
yeah, he's had to commit to coming in too.
So Kyle Dewey is Kyle Dewey's right there.
Yeah.
So
apparently the audio cutting is real bad at the moment on the stream.
Really? What's cutting? Is it the cars?
Well, no, but for Zenobi, it's fine for him.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, everything from what I can see looks good.
Yeah.
Maybe,
no, it's fine. Okay. It's fine from Dommy's saying, so
Okay.
it sounds fine. Okay, that's fine. So Kyle Dewey will lead this race once Sean Bradley's had to commit to coming into pit road. And it would lock Dewey into a playoff position, Jimmy, who's previously been in the top 10 of the championship and would likely slot himself back into the top 10 of the championship as well.
Certainly. Because he just
they
dropped.
closed the open and fixed it. Yeah, he just dropped. So it's
Thomas, just so you know, I have PTSD when it comes to audio problems, so I've been fighting for weeks trying to get the audio squared away where we get the right levels and you can hear the cars and you can hear the commentators, and hopefully we've got that sorted out. And obviously if you ever watching and it doesn't sound right, please let us know, because we can't actually hear what goes out to you guys once we start the broadcast.
Yeah, unless I listen to it, and
yes,
I don't like to do that whilst I try and commentate, because then I'm trying to listen to two things at once.
So, I mean, I'm sure this isn't going to happen, but is there any way that Sean Bradley chances this? I can't see.
Caution.
Well, that's the only way now. But if he if he cautions right here, is he still going to have enough? Will he have enough?
No, he wouldn't actually know, because he's on his brink. That's the problem. He's on the brink of being empty. So
we just don't know though how close he is. He knows though.
That's true. He knows. He has the answers.
He ain't pitted. Yeah, I mean, I know he's waiting, but at this point, a caution doesn't save him, I don't think, because you got numerous guys back there who've got, fuel to get there.
When for Kyle Dewey, he doesn't want a caution because he doesn't want to have everyone straight behind him. Now, yes, he's got Emmett on his tail and Kane and Piracini, but he doesn't want the caution for the fact of it'll bunch everyone back up, and then all of a sudden they'll be too wide again. He wants to keep it.
Looks like Bradley's coming. Yeah,
Bradley's had to come in. So Dewey's now going to take the lead of this race for Rapid Theft Racing at the front of the field. Emmett also comes past Kane in there. Piracini, as we see Herzig trying to slot in right behind Kyle Dewey at the front of the field. This is lap traffic for Herzog. He's a lap down. But for Kyle Dewey, he is 5 laps away for Rapid Theft Racing to take the win at the RTR 200 here at Pocono Raceway. Wow, wowee. How the turntables and how everything happens.
Now these guys right here, there's a lot of position racing going on right here.
There is Cameron Kane and
Emmett.
And co. Emmett as well.
Emmett, yeah, and Paracini's in there. McClendon.
This is all for P2 in this race.
I mean, it really is, yeah. Well, Cameron Kane is your leader for P2. He's kind of up there a little bit, but yeah. So certainly 2 through 5 back here, they're all, I mean, and of course we got Kyle Dewey up here. Oh, look at this. He let Herzog by. Now he can draft Herzog for gas just to make sure.
That's the smart play of Dewey at the front of the field. Let him go, get some slipstream.
Well, actually,
get yourself a fuel save.
Herzog seems to be flying right now.
He doesn't have to save, does he? He's just able to push on.
And he probably pitted recently, but because he was repairing damage. But he just unlapped himself. So if he gets a caution here, he's going to be back on the.
Let's get the intervals up on the tower, Jim, just so we can keep an eye on if Kane and all that are actually going to catch him. Because they are nice and tight and they're pushing forward. So Kyle Dewey, 3 laps to survive in this race. He's got 1.7 seconds back to that little P2 battle in behind him.
Yeah.
So how close can this get?
Look at this coming down underneath. Who is that?
Is that Al Corey back on the road?
Is it? No, huh?
Is that Al Corey back on the road? No, it's Emmett. It's Will Emmett.
Okay. He was flying right there.
He was. Kane up the inside as well. Yeah.
Emmett
so they are stopping and changing positions like nobody's business here, Jim. And this is all for P2. This is P2 all the way back
to P6, I guess.
P6. Yeah.
I mean, I hate to cut away from Dewey, but he's out there by himself.
But they're starting to catch him. It's now down to less than a second, and the lap traffic is not helping Dewey. He is having to save fuel at this point to try and get this car home with 2 laps to go.
And 2 laps around Pocono is a long way.
Oh, it is. It doesn't look like a big track, but it is a big track, Jim. I mean, this is
huge, yeah.
This is a super speedway, of course.
Look at
this. See McClendon up into P2. Where has McClendon come from tonight? Back up the order and back up the strategic masterclass.
And Kane is right in there behind him. Parasini.
Cress is there.
Oh, I thought that was a wreck.
Parasini. That was nearly a wreck, Jim. We're going to have 1 lap to go. The fresher tires on these cars that pitted on lap 60 compared to Kyle Dewey, who came in on lap 38. It'll be white flag this time by as they traverse.
None of these 60 cars have tires either.
Oh, they don't either.
No,
wow.
None of them do. Nobody in the top 10 has tires.
So right now, Kyle Dewey is looking to pull a cold trickle at Pocono, Jim. Nice little Days of Thunder reference there.
That was
Cole his first win at Pocono. Oh, but McClendon into lead. Dewey, has he run out of fuel?
He wiggled it.
Dewey run out of fuel on the final lap?
Yeah.
McClendon.
He's gone. Yep.
He's
done.
Gone. He's run out of fuel. McClendon, though, who's already taken a race win this season, as he runs down towards turn 3 in the Mario Brothers livery, changed it up for this round. Piracini's on the podium, so is Cress at the moment. Final corner for Steve McClendon, and the Rapid Theft Racing 200 takes victory at Pocono Raceway. Piracini and Cress will join him in victory lane. And Kane finishes did Kane get him? No, he was P4. But it is absolute heartbreak for Rapid Theft Racing and Kyle Dewey. John Campbell, a good run from him. Same for Ben Harkham as well. But Steve McClendon, there's a reason that he leads the championship. There's a reason why he is the hot favorite for the championship as well. And the Georgia native gets a 2nd win on the season, Jim. And he takes another win away from another driver who could have locked themselves into the playoffs.
Wow. Okay. That was, that was so exciting. That was so exciting. And there's old Brad Cress, man. Talked about him earlier. What was he in, like 24th place or something when I brought him up? And now there he is, 3rd place. Parasini. What a run by Parasini, too.
A phenomenal run.
Cameron Kane, too. He didn't quite get the podium, but Cameron Kane got a nice 4th place out of that. And we didn't really talk a ton about him this race, but he deserves the credit for putting that car up there. He was hard in a battle. There was some craziness going on there, and he finished 4th. That's a beautiful run. A fantastic run by Ryan Hyatt as well, and Elton Wu. All great runs. Let's do this. Let's get your results up here.
So we've got no Brad Cress in the lounges this evening. We have got Matt Piracini and Steve McClendon. We'll start by having a quick chat to Piracini and P2 this evening. Mr. Matt Piracini, return to form, return to victory lane for you, sir. What a wild last couple of laps, especially with Kyle Dewey running out of fuel on the final lap of the race and giving you, Brad Cress, and Steve McClendon one hell of a finish between you all. How was that for you, sir?
Well, considering I've tried to throw it away like 5 times during the race, I will take a P2. I sped on pit road twice. Once under green, once under caution. So to come back and get a P2 finish, I will take it. I wish I could have got that P1. I'd really like that playoff lock-in, but getting P2, that'll help with the point situation for sure anyway.
You're going to make the proper amount of races, though, right?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I would think this should certainly pick you up in the point standings for sure. By the way, when you watch this back, you'll notice I talked good about you before the race. You were, I gave you a lot of credit for finishing up front, and thanks for making me look good. It always helps.
Yeah, the pit road mistakes this year, and we've run up front a lot this year with this car, and we just have not got the finishes. We've been involved in a wreck, took ourselves out of it or whatever. So I will take the P2. Still would like to see if we can get that P1 finish before the playoffs start, but we got to do what we can. P2's about the best I can do. Just I didn't get any stage points because of that penalty I ended up getting, so that's going to hurt a little bit. But overall, I'm pretty happy.
Yeah, you did have some other pit road troubles earlier in the year too, didn't you? I forgot about that, but you did.
Yeah. It's been I've not had what I would consider to be a normal season for me. Lots of stupid little mental mistakes have been taking me out of races this year. So,
well, to be fair, you guys have a burden on you as well. You and Jason Benson and Al, and I mentioned those guys last week, but I didn't really mention you. There's a lot to be said for kind of doing race control from your car sometimes, and being part of that and being part of decision making, like last week where we thought we might go cut the race short. I'm sure you were involved in that decision as well. There's a lot, it's hard sometimes. It just all gets mixed up a little bit, but yeah, congratulations. I know you got somebody you want to shout out to since we got you in here in second place.
Well, I mean, overall, I just, shout out to the whole league. I mean, we had, I think it was 40 or 39 drivers show up for this race.
Yeah, 40.
And overall, for how many drivers we had show up and have that few cautions really is impressive. Pocono, especially with turn 2, typically guys dive bombing in there and then you get a big wreck. But overall, real good job to the whole league. Just thanks again to the founders group. They were the ones that I had to approach them with this whole idea of bringing this car back, because we had a bad experience with it when we first started the league. And I told them, I said, here's what I want to do. And they said, okay, we'll let you go with it. And now we're getting over 30 cars a race. So I can't be happy. Like, I'm so happy about how this series has turned out and how things are going. And, the only other one I got to shout out is that Jeff Slaughter Racing Designs. He painted this Tennessee Storm Chasers car. He also painted the Bojangles car, which I say is cursed because I had 2 really bad races in it. But this car I usually finish really well in. So, and I love how it looks. So kudos to him. And if you're, anybody out there in the iRacing world looking for any kind of paints on their cars, just DM Jeff Slaughter. I think his Discord handle was 2 Dogs Porking. Give him a message, and I'm sure he'll be able to help you out.
Yeah, well, we appreciate it. I'm glad you shouted out Jeff too for his designs. He does some great logos each week for these races and stuff like that as well. So, well, again, congratulations, man. It's always good to talk to you, and I have no doubt you're going to get that win before the year's over. I believe it. You've run up front a lot this year, so we'll talk to you soon.
Yeah, thanks very much, and thanks for doing the broadcast again, guys. We appreciate it.
Oh, of course, absolutely.
Next up, we have now got Brad Kress out there, so I'll have a quick chat to him out of P3 this evening. Mr. Kress, P3 on the road for you this evening. What a wild end that was across the final couple of laps. Barely anything in it between you and Cameron Kane for P3. Talk us through it. Talk us through the end and talk us through how sweaty that seat is right now, trying to make up those spots.
Well, to be completely honest, I thought that it was all said and done. I had the pit road incident and had to go to the back, and then when I got involved in that wreck, I had to go to the back again. I thought it was all over there. I just kept coming down pit road and topping off, hoping I'd have enough to make it to the end. And I think I had 0.1 gallons left when I crossed the line. So that was the only thing that saved me.
Well, if you watch any of these races back, I always say the same thing about you. doesn't matter where you're at, it just seems like you save your stuff and you get it fixed up or whatever it takes, and you're always somewhere around there at the end. And you've been proving that all year. Your points reflect that, and tonight was just another example of that. To me, this was the perfect Brad Crest race. It doesn't really matter. You always seem to get there at the end, which is what really matters. So.
Well, I'm really glad you think that, because I really did not think it about halfway through that race. I thought it was all said and done.
I don't exactly know when it was, but there was some point that you were down somewhere, like maybe 24th or something like that, and I clicked down to your car and actually said that said, look where you're sitting now, and I said you're always, you always manage to find a way to get it back up front. But you did good strategy. You were smart tonight. You came in, you got topped off your fuel to make sure that you could get there, and ultimately that's what won this race. Is the guys that came in on lap 60 and topped off their fuel. You were, and ultimately that did it. So. But congratulations. You got anybody you want to shout out to while we got you in here?
I just want to shout out to you guys for putting this thing on, all the admins for doing what they do, and for everybody that showed up. We had a pretty big field tonight. A lot of people.
Another nice one. 40 cars, 39 last week. Yeah. Man, you got to love turnouts like that, especially when the racing, like Matt Parasini said, is as clean as it was tonight. Shout out to everyone. We had some good racing tonight.
Yeah, shout out to everybody for doing a really good job. We had a couple of incidents, but if you have that many cars, you're going to have a couple of run-ins.
Plus, it's Pocono. There's always going to be something happen at Pocono. So,
yeah, it was a good turnout. Like I say, I was hoping when I was back in 30-something that we didn't have that many people, but I'm glad they showed up.
Well, another great night for you, Brad. Congratulations. I'm sure we'll be talking to you more as the rest of this year goes on, and we'll talk to you soon, buddy.
Fellas, y'all have a good one.
You too.
Thanks, bro. Next up, we have our race winner this evening in Steve McClendon. Steve, you already locked in a playoff position by winning earlier in the season. Did you not want to give someone else a race win to let them come join you in the playoffs?
Hell no. We're trying to win this thing this year. We had that wreck early. My wheel failed, like it was like a USB failure or something, and it just hung a hard left, and I tried to stay out of the way, but when I hit the brakes, it just turned me back into the field and kind of messed up my whole strategy then, but then it turned out to be the right strategy. So yeah, anyway, so it worked out.
Yeah, what a crazy night for you, man. Would you pit like 8-9 times to get it fixed up, to get it back out going again? That's
I just towed and took the fast repair, and then we had that another quick caution, and I got the lucky dog then, and from then on I was kind of running to a number on the fuel because I knew I didn't really have the pace for the guys up front. I was there, but I wasn't as fast as like the top 5. So I knew my only chance was to catch cautions right and run a fuel strategy. So I kind of practiced that the whole race.
Well, that just is another prime example of why you're leading the points. You're always thinking about a strategy that's going to best serve you, whether it be stage wins and potentially even sacrificing a finish later in the race to make sure that you get the stage win points and all those things. You're always thinking about it, and so far it seems to be working out pretty well for you. Everything seems to be going your way this season, and just another fantastic finish. I'm sure you were shocked when Dewey ran out of fuel. I mean, I'm sure you probably thought it was coming, but to see it happen, I'm sure made you really happy.
Yeah, I was watching after that last caution. I knew if guys played it right, we could pit on 61. And having that extended caution really kind of saved it.
Yes.
Because I was gonna have to really save fuel over the course of the run to make it. I still think I was going to be able to make it because I crossed the line with like half a gallon left, and that's right on the 1 lap to go. So it would have been close there, but having that extended caution really helped and got to take on more fuel there. So I don't know, it just worked out tonight. And I was watching the guys around me, so I knew I was racing Cress and Parasini, And I thought Dewey was going to run out at some point. I didn't think he could save that much, so I was just waiting on it. And thankfully for him too, he called it out, got low, and didn't cause anything. So I was on edge, ready for it, but he helped out too there.
Well, congratulations again. Who I know you got somebody you want to shout out to since we got you in here again.
Yeah, I think everybody at the league that puts it on, Al and Benson and the guys that run this series in particular. Matt, is it Alacoa or whatever, the sponsor tonight's deal?
Yep.
Appreciate that.
Yep.
And having you guys. Thank you guys for all you do. Thank my buddy Nathan at Catamount Solutions. We run his name on the car, and he keeps the internet going and the beers flowing. And then everybody else that's watching and pulling for the 151.
Well, congratulations again, man, and looking forward to the playoffs. Obviously, you're well established in there, and we'll see who's going to join you over the next couple of weeks.
Yeah, I'm gonna. I appreciate that. I'm gonna try to keep as many guys out as I can. So we'll keep digging here the next few weeks, and then we'll go in the playoffs hopefully on a high note and carry it on through.
All right, buddy. Good talking to you again. We're definitely going to see you over the next few weeks for sure.
Yep, I've already had my 2 drop weeks, so I will be here every week through the duration.
All right, man. Talk to you soon.
I'll take it easy. Yep, y'all take it easy. Have a great week, and we'll see you next week.
Will do. Man, Hamish, what a race.
An absolute wild race, Jim. Absolutely
that was
wild.
good stuff right there, man.
Top to toe, you know, your first half of the race, you think it's going to be, it's going to go one way, and then all of a sudden, cautions happen. Certain decisions sway the tides of the race, and it completely goes the other way, doesn't it? And then
it's funny though, when there was that point where you looked at the thing and you said, lap 60, man, we got guys that just took fuel, and it's like you were so right, man. That just opened it up right there.
It was, and it probably showed those were the drivers that knew when the critical lap was.
Yes.
So they decided they're going to come in, they're going to give up some track position to have the better strategy play later in the race. And that worked out perfectly for them. And then just when we thought that Dewey could possibly, not to punt, but to do it, he then runs out of fuel in the last lap and he couldn't quite make it. Didn't save enough. It was heartbreak for him. It was elation for others. Pure emotion all throughout. And that's the kind of racing that we get here in Triple Bypass. It's the kind of racing we get here in the NicholsOilPros.com series. But for round 9 out at Pocono, it comes to an end for the Rapid Def Racing RTR 200. Appreciate your time. Appreciate you being here with us on JP Broadcasting. So we got a message coming your way before we head out to the final sort of, we'll call it ending video that we normally play, Jim,
yes.
for JP Broadcasting. We have a message from NicholsOilPros.com.
We do indeed.
They still have that deal running where if you email, text Nichols personally, he'll put you on the preferred customer list and you get a ridiculous deal, free shipping and 25% off your oil for 12 months. It's a phenomenal deal.
Free shipping, everything over $100, 25% off. Can't beat it, man.
Yeah. It's ridiculous how good that deal actually is. But yeah, be sure to hit the like button, subscribe to the bell icon as well. We've got so much more racing coming your way across the next, as we lead into season 2 of iRacing next week, but also all throughout the rest of March, April, and then throughout the rest of 2025 as well. So you guys don't want to miss it. You want to be around for all of it here on JP Broadcasting. Across a multitude of leagues, not just the Triple Bypass, but a heap of other leagues as well. But I've been Hamish Runner with Jim Cunningham once again. Appreciate your time. Appreciate you being here with us once again for round 9 at the NicholsOilPros.com series out of Pocono. And we'll see you guys next week for Rockingham Speedway, who will go racing once again. Who can lock themselves into the playoffs? You'll have to watch and see. But until then, stay safe, drive hard, and as always, bye for now.
Whatever you drive, however you drive. AMSOIL specially engineers lubricants to maximize power, performance, and protection in your vehicles, so you can work hard and play hard with confidence.